This is the Dallas Morning News.
Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.
Hello, and welcome to Eat, Drink, DFW, the podcast from the Dallas Morning News food team. Each week, we take a look at food and drink trends in North Texas, talk about restaurants in Dallas-Fort Worth, learn some new recipes, and sometimes even get tips from you, our listeners. I'm Julie Fisk, podcast producer for the Dallas Morning News, and this week, pack your overnight bag and grab some road snacks because we're traveling to our favorite food destinations. It's cheaper than a plane ticket, and it's all coming up right after this.
Central Market is really into food, like fish flown in so fresh it still has jet lag into food. Our sourdough starter has been around since grunge was a thing into food. We're talking more prime cuts than a greatest hits album into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then we're the HQ for you, whether you're a make every recipe in the cookbook foodie or a my favorite recipe is reheat type who just digs the delectable. No place makes every day more delicious like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
For the latest food and restaurant news in Dallas-Fort Worth, visit dallasnews.com/food. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so email us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com with any thoughts or suggestions. As usual, today I'm joined by our food writers, Sarah Blaskovich, Zakaria Washington, and Imelda Garcia. So we are neck deep in June now and officially in travel season, which had us chatting about our favorite food destinations.
I've already asked Julie what hers was, and I'm a bit shocked, Julie, by your choice.
Yeah, nobody's going to say Albuquerque, New Mexico, except for me.
I know. Definitely not me.
No. We need an explanation.
There is. I have a good one. So I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico in the 90s. I worked at a radio station there. I moved there from Georgia. So when I got to the green and red chili sauce and stuffed sopapillas and the fry bread and everything, I did not get it. All right. I was not loving it. And then I met my husband and everything kind of turned around. It was like everything in New Mexico looked different once Dave Fisk showed up.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun and we hit all of the restaurants. And one of my favorite things, he would pick me up from work on Sundays and take me to a place called El Pinto, which is very much like Joe T. Garcia's. It's this big, beautiful restaurant out in the North Valley. And they have this massive patio. And we would go sit there and have pictures of margaritas with friends and share a plate of food. It was like the most romantic time in my life. And y'all, that was 29 years ago this month.
Wow.
If you can believe it.
We are going to celebrate something next year.
Yes. So now we will take our daughters to Santa Fe. And we love Santa Fe. Of course, we'll eat at the Plaza Cafe there in like Old Town. We go to Il Vicino for pizzas. But at some point in time, we have to drive over to Albuquerque and we have to go eat at El Pinto, which is still there and it's still gorgeous. It was actually already like a landmark by the time we started going in the 90s. But there are more things that you can do if you go to Albuquerque. There is the Route 66 Diner, which is so much fun. You have to go to a diner called Frontier, which is right across the street from the University of New Mexico. So you'll be surrounded by hungover college students, but it is so much fun. And then also there's this freaky little town called Madrid on the other side of the Sandia Mountains.
And you don't say it Madrid.
You don't say it Madrid. It is Madrid.
Okay.
And it's an old mining town that turned into like a little artisan village. So you go over there and you shop and you get some ice cream. And there is a freaky little bar called the Mine Shaft Tavern that I'm convinced is haunted. So there you go. It's a wonderful vacation. And the food is truly phenomenal. And then you can watch Breaking Bad and, you know, feel real cool like you know all the places.
I think this is proof, Julie, that a city is great because of the experiences you've had in that city. Mm-hmm. And so I've been to Albuquerque a bunch of times driving through to get to Colorado. And I never appreciated it as much as I should have. And now I want to go back and eat at El Pinto just for you.
I have never been in Albuquerque, but I want to go since obviously I watch Breaking Bad.
Yes.
But I'm afraid of snakes.
I mean, me too.
I never saw a single snake when I lived there. I see a snake every other week here in Texas. So
Okay.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
What about you, Imelda?
Well, as you imagine, I mean, your heart is in Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. Mine is in Mexico. And I have 3 cities or 3 regions that are amazing in food. And I will say the first one is Mexico City. I mean, you can eat like a street taco on the street, and you can go to the best restaurant in Mexico also, all in the same city. And I think it's very diverse. I mean, Mexico is like a very centralized country. So a lot of people move to Mexico City, and all the cultures are there. So there are many, many fusions, and we have recipes from our grandmothers and great grandmothers and things like that. So it's a very, very rich ambience for food, and I think it's amazing. Another region is Baja California. You can eat very good seafood from the Pacific. I lived in Mexico City. I grew up there. But the best tacos of my life, I ate them in Tijuana. The birria tacos are amazing. And the shrimp tacos are unbelievable. The third one is Mérida in the Yucatan Peninsula. They have all these Mayan traditions like pollo pibil. It's like a cochinita pibil that you have to make underground. And they have all these food with weird names like bok chook. Bok chook is like a pork steak marinated in orange, but it's so delicious. And there's this place in Mérida. It's called La Chaya. I went there once. I was working, but I went there and I asked for a sopa de lima. It's like a turkey soup with tortilla. And then they had this pollo pibil. It's like half chicken. So I was like, no, I'm not going to eat all that. But girls, I was full until my head. I was exploding, but I cannot stop eating. It was so delicious. So you have to go to Mérida and try some good food.
Those are famous last words. I'm never going to finish all of this.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
I always do.
Totally.
We took a trip to Paris last year that I just adored, and I understand in every way why this is probably the best food city in the world. But Paris is not my answer today. I do dearly love it, and I had so many memories from last year, like things I will hang on until I am back, to eat that same sandwich, to eat the, drink that same wine. But my answer is New Orleans. I think this is a near perfect food city for anything that you want to do. And the delight of New Orleans to me is part food, part everything else. The people, the walking, the neighborhoods. And it is a choose your own adventure kind of situation. Most mornings we start with an Irish coffee at Erin Rose, which is the world's tiniest little bar where you can hardly squeeze yourself in there so that you can go get a frozen coffee full of booze and some other things. They ask if you want a little extra booze in it. You probably do. And then you can take it out of the bar and walk with it, which, like, we know this is a thing in New Orleans, and yet still every time I'm like looking both ways. Am I supposed to be walking with my alcohol? I just think that's delightful. But every time we go, we eat at different restaurants, and at all levels, we have a blast. So there's a restaurant called Coop's Place, which is nothing fancy, that I adore. We love to eat a muffalata, love to have some fried chicken and some oysters, and I could name a lot of places that check all those boxes. Recently, when I went, a friend was celebrating her 40th birthday, and so we had a private dinner at the Mosquito Supper Club, which is a really nice restaurant that a lot of people are wanting to get into, and it's really hard to get a seat. Well, we had seats in the whole place, which was really a delight. Then we went to a place called Snake and Jake's Christmas Club Lounge, and there were enough drinks that I'm not really sure if this was on purpose or not, but Snake and Jake's is Christmas all year round. It is probably the diviest dive bar I've ever been to. And I was surrounded by best friends since 6th grade and their spouses and some new friends. New Orleans is the kind of place where, like, you're surrounded by all these new and old friends. It just is like a memory encapsulated. And every time it's just as good, even though there's different stuff that we're eating. And then, if you want to eat fancy, there's that too. Of course, Emeril's, just got a whole lot of recognition by Michelin. Nina Compton has a restaurant called Compère Lapine that I think is really incredible. My husband Chase and I love to stop into a place called Lucy's Retired Surfer Bar. It is what Jimmy Buffett fans feel after they're done working. It is like surfboards on the walls and bright tropical colors. And we found ourselves at Lucy's one night, and we didn't recognize that there was a Mardi Gras parade coming down this street. And our hotel was on the other side of the street. And so we're at the bar and we're thinking, okay, well, we'll just stop in here for a drink. Well, we were there for, I think, 4 hours.
Wow.
Because you couldn't cross the street. And yeah, I mean, leave it to us, right? We're on the second floor. We're cheering on the parade. We've got 47 brand new friends. I got like half of their phone numbers just in case we ever end up in New Orleans at the same time again, which we won't. It's one of those places where, you accidentally have way too good of a time. The food is a big piece of that. The drink is a big piece of that. But I think there's just something about the place.
I think New Orleans is the perfect place for a milestone party of any kind,
Yeah.
whether it's a wedding or a birthday. We did a 50th birthday celebration for one of my girlfriends there. And literally the only place that we ate at that I can remember was Turkey and the Wolf. And that's where I had that collard green sandwich that was like one of the most amazing things I've ever had.
So the Turkey and the Wolf people have a breakfast spot called Molly's Rise and Shine, which is also phenomenal. Speaking of milestones, I had my bachelorette party in New Orleans.
Oh.
Can't really name a single place where we had dinner, but we had a lot of other things.
What about you, Zakaria?
I'm just going to have to agree with Sarah and just go with the whole state of Louisiana. My family and I, we passed through Louisiana to get to my dad's hometown in Mississippi. And we always stop in Louisiana at various places on the way there. They have some great soul food spots that I just can't get enough of. But the one I'm going to mention today, it's a small shop. It's like a drive-through. It's not fancy at all, but it's called Southern Classic Chicken, and it is such good fried chicken. It's in Shreveport, and we go each and every time. The whole car, everybody, my mom, my sister, my grandma, we all look forward to this chicken spot every single time. So try it if you're in Shreveport.
I am a fan of Shreveport, and I feel as though that's a niche opinion. And it's not far from Dallas. There are fun casinos, and the food can be phenomenal if you know where to look.
Yes.
I'm surprised. I have never in my life heard you should try this place in Shreveport.
See?
I know.
And now I need to know more about this fried chicken place.
Me
Is
too, me
it
too.
just fried chicken? What are the sides like?
So you go there for the chicken. We all want the chicken. They have like the regular sides, the French fries, but the chicken is the star of the show.
Do you eat it in the car? And is
Yes.
it like on your fingers and in the car?
Yes. And my dad tells us each and every time, y'all don't spill it because it's so greasy and just so good. And there's crumbs everywhere. And he knows we're going to spill it, but it's okay because it's the experience.
Okay, road trip, everybody.
Do you realize that all our favorite food is tied to a memory?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the food,
Yeah.
Maybe it's the memory of it.
You're so right, Imelda, but also like there is good and great food everywhere.
Yes.
You know, like you don't have to fly all the way to Paris, and you don't have to go far to find something wonderful. You just have to be a little discerning and maybe be with people you love.
Yes. Food brings us all together.
Amen. All right. You can stay up to date with all of the latest food news at dallasnews.com/food. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, Sarah talked to some local chefs about their favorite food cities. And we're going to share those right after this.
Central Market is really into food. Like when we say cheese, it's in 12 languages into food. Butchers, bakers, and sushi roll makers into food. We're talking so obsessive about quality you can shop blindfolded into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then let us turn your shopping list into a treasure map. Get inspired, get adventurous, or just get a chef-made dinner when you've got more taste buds than time. No place makes every meal more amazing like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
Coming up, we'll hear from some local chefs about their favorite food destinations. But first, a quick reminder that you can always reach out to the Dallas Morning News food team at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. And please follow DMN Food on Instagram and Facebook as well, because we've been having so much fun over there.
Okay, we talked to 6 chefs and restaurateurs. These are people who eat well already and who we thought could give great advice about where the rest of us should eat this summer.
I'm Toby Archibald, the chef owner of Quarter Acre Restaurant on Greenville Avenue here in Dallas. My favorite food city to travel and eat to in the world would have to be Paris, France. I know it's a bit of a gimme, but the love affair started very early on when I first was young and traveling. I arrived at the train station in Paris. I was hungry and I just went to the nearest patisserie and had a sandwich, and it blew my mind. It was the best sandwich I had ever eaten in my life, and the love affair just started there. And every time I go back to France, I try and go to Paris, and they have streets where it's just all bakeries and charcutiers. The level of cuisine is from highest to lowest. Everywhere you go, they don't tolerate bad food. It's France. The food's just amazing in France. They've nailed life.
Oh my gosh, that accent. Where is he
Yes.
from?
He's from New Zealand. And he has a restaurant on Greenville Avenue called Quarter Acre that is, if you like fine food, it is really worth going to. He is a chef who I think is extremely talented and is somebody whose recommendations I would always follow.
He said the love affair began there. I have got to get to Paris, y'all.
Same. Let's go.
Let's go, Julie.
Well, and he said something that really resonated with me too. You know, he had a sandwich that was so memorable. I had a sandwich that was so memorable, and when it was the cheapest thing that we bought in the many days we were there, and probably one of our favorite things.
Sarah, I watched that reel when you posted it like over and over again. I watched y'all make that sandwich like 10 different times.
It was a really killer sandwich, and we will make it forever. Like, you ever go someplace and there was such a moment that you're like, not only can I make this at home, but this is part of my life now. Mm-hmm. That was the sandwich in Paris for me, and I think we could all pick something from somewhere that now you make it at home all the time, trying to resurface that memory.
Pin in that future episode.
So Chef Bilal Katan, a Syrian native who owns a pop-up restaurant company in Dallas called Bazaar, picked Austin. And I love that place. Mm-hmm. Bilal praised the creativity of restaurants in Austin. He especially loves the markets. At one of them, he found a unique ceramic cup that he used at a recent pop-up dinner.
I was at this dinner, and this cup is worth like zooming in on for a second, okay? So the first course of the dinner had a piece of raw tuna on top. It looked like a little jar with a little one bite on top of it. So I ate that, took the lid off, and inside was a cold crab salad at the bottom of the cup.
Oh.
I thought that was the end. That was cool, right? Like one bite here, you open it up. Ooh, there's more things inside. But then the sommelier came by and flipped over the lid that I'd set next to the cup and poured a small taste of sparkling wine in like this curved lid to start the meal. And then I was like, okay. Right? I was like, this is going to be one of these kind of dinners. This is so interesting, right? Like 3 different moments with this one cup. So lovely. And I had no idea that he found that at a market in Austin, but it did feel like this piece of artisanal whatever where you're like, where'd you get that? Of course, we had to check in with the founder of Tacos Wancho, the Mexico City-inspired taqueria on Oaklawn Avenue that's gotten a lot of attention recently. Owner Ever Jordan, who was born in San Miguel, picked Mexico City as his favorite food destination. Imelda.
I knew it.
Okay, here's what Ever said. The diversity of cooking styles and food culture is unmatched. He called CDMX the perfect place for inspiration. And I love this visual. You can eat at a small taco stand and still have one of the best food experiences of your life. And not just with tacos, but in every culinary level you could imagine. Couldn't be more true of Mexico City.
We also asked Chef Tiffany Derry, a frequent judge on food TV shows and the owner of several Dallas area restaurants, including a brand new dessert shop called Syrup and Snow. So Tiffany's favorite food city is Brooklyn.
Whoa.
Yes. Tiffany says, quote, if I have business in New York City, I usually want to stay in Brooklyn, even if I have to drive 45 minutes to my meetings. She says she loves the restaurants and the people. So we asked her for a short list of must-visit restaurants in Brooklyn, and she said, Dashi Okume, Baby Blues Luncheonette, Onigiri Noah, Theodora, and Okonomi.
I hope everybody had pen and paper out just then because Tiffany Derry gave 5 great Brooklyn restaurants that now we all need to go to.
Yes, and I'm going to cut and paste this because I'm going to Brooklyn in the fall. I'm going to hit all these places.
Absolutely.
Dallas restaurateur Chaz Martin, whose team owns Mr. Charles, Carlos Elegante, and others, has a lot of favorite cities. He said, London is amazing, posh, sexy, with a melting pot of cuisines. He loves the food in Miami and used to live there. He had an exceptional time eating in Mexico City. Another man bites the dust. But, he said, his pick has to be New York City. I'm going to quote him. It's the most dense food town from a quality perspective on the face of the planet.
I think he's probably right about that. Mm-hmm. Finally, we end with Olivia Genthy, the restaurateur who just opened Seeger's Deli in the Cedars area of Dallas. And if you haven't been there, you need to go. The sandwiches are affordable and delicious. So Olivia picked Munich, Germany as her favorite food city. A restaurant called Hoxenbauer serves excellent pork knuckles, she said. Is this the first time we've ever said pork knuckle on this podcast?
Yeah, I don't need to eat that.
Yeah. Well, Olivia says you should, and I trust her.
Okay.
So the pork knuckle apparently comes with a potato dumpling that, quote, you could bathe in.
Oh.
I can't totally picture this sexy bath with potato dumplings and pork knuckles. But I'm going to get in that hot tub. Olivia has a long list of favorite spots, from her very favorite Moro Moo, which turns into a dance bar after 10 p.m. Right? Give me more of that in Dallas. She says Max Emanuel has the best schnitzel of your life. Coffee Twins is her espresso stop. Campana del Rey is a rum bar in a 16th century cellar.
Oh, I need to go. That sounds haunted.
Totally sounds haunted. More ghosts just dining among the people.
Yeah, we need that.
So after Olivia sent me a long list of excellent restaurants in Munich, she mentioned she has several others she wants to try. And this is awesome. She did that in early June. She went back to Germany, took her kids, and tried more amazing spots. I want this life.
How do we make this happen?
Right? I mean, it sounds pretty great.
So to recap, the 6 Dallas restaurateurs we talked to picked Paris, Austin, Texas, Mexico City, Brooklyn, and then New York City at large, and Munich.
I just love the fact that there's a Texas City on here.
Hey, good point. Well, that was the wonderful purpose of this episode. If anybody is home in Texas feeling hot and hungry, we gave you a half a dozen chef-approved places where you should dream of traveling next.
Yep. Or just drive to Austin.
Easy.
Happy travels.
And that's all the time we have for today. If you like learning about new restaurants and want to receive free weekly emails with links to our latest work, go to dallasnews.com/newsletters. Sign up for restaurant news and Eat Drink DFW. 2 e-newsletters that'll keep you up to date as you make dinner plans in North Texas. Special thanks to Dallas Morning News Assistant Managing Editor Christopher Wynn, whose favorite food city is Nashville. That's surprising.
Wow.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I've only had drinks there. For the news, I'm Julie Fisk. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Eat, Drink DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.